Welcome back, everyone. Today we are taking a deep dive into the complete leaked kit for Zibai, also known as the White Horse Adeptus, the new Geo sword user expected to release in version 6.3, most likely in the second half of the update. Zibai is the first Geo character to introduce the brand new Lunar Crystallize reaction, and her entire design revolves around high defense scaling, constant Geo conversion, and a special stance mode that completely changes how her normal attacks work. These leaks may still receive adjustments, but the mechanics, the structure of her kit, and the numbers already give a very clear picture of what kind of character she is intended to be. So let's break down every part of her abilities, how her kit flows together, and what role she is designed to fill. Main combat mode, normal, charged, and plunge attacks. Zibai's basic sword attacks are nothing special by default. What truly matters is what happens after she activates her elemental skill. Once she enters her special state, called Lunar Phase Shift, all of her normal attacks and charged attacks convert to Geo damage and begin scaling entirely from her defense instead of attack. Her Lunar Phase Shift normal attack damage at level 90 is: first hit, 101.8% of defense. Second hit, 93.8% of defense. Third hit, 62.2% plus 62.2% of defense. Fourth hit, 156.9% of defense. Her charged attack deals 118.7% plus 118.7% of defense. The important mechanic here is that every fourth normal attack deals an additional instance of Geo damage equal to the original hit, and this extra hit is considered Lunar Crystallize reaction damage. This creates a consistent damage loop where your fourth hit becomes a key part of her rotation. Next is Elemental Skill, Heaven and Earth Made Manifest. Her elemental skill is the core of her identity. When activated, Zibai enters the Lunar Phase Shift mode for 15 seconds. During Lunar Phase Shift, all her attacks become Geo. All her multipliers scale from defense. She begins accumulating a resource called Phase Shift Radiance, and she can consume Radiance to perform a powerful follow-up attack called Spirit Steed Stride. Spirit Steed Stride is a 2-hit strike. At level 90, the first hit deals 310.6% of defense as damage, and the second hit deals 253.7% of defense as damage. Additionally, her fourth normal attack also triggers a bonus Geo strike called Ascendant Gleam, dealing 53% of defense as damage and also counting as Lunar Crystallize reaction damage. This mode does not reset your normal attack sequence when swapping stances, meaning you maintain your attack progression across actions. The entire flow of her kit revolves around dealing consistent defense-scaled hits while triggering repeated Lunar Crystallize reactions. Now let's see Elemental Burst, Sphere Eminence. Her Elemental Burst is straightforward and mainly intended as supplemental damage. Zibai summons 3 regalia that strike twice. The first hit deals 228.5% of defense as damage. The second hit deals 319.9% of defense as damage. The second hit is also considered Lunar Crystallize reaction damage. The cooldown is 15 seconds and the energy cost is 60. Zibai's burst is not the centerpiece of her kit. Her real damage output comes overwhelmingly from her skill mode and repeated fourth hit reaction triggers. Moving on to her passive talents and how they affect her rotation. Her first passive talent gives her a 4-second buff called Moonfall whenever she casts her elemental skill or triggers Moon Drift Harmony. Moonfall increases the damage of Spirit Steed's Stride by an additional 40% of her defense, giving her opening burst windows significantly more force. Her second passive talent increases her stats based on team composition. Every other Geo teammate increases her defense by 15%. Every Hydro teammate increases her elemental mastery by 60, which directly strengthens the Lunar Crystallize reaction. Her third passive talent is what defines the new reaction. When any party member triggers a Hydro Crystallize reaction, it transforms into Lunar Crystallize instead. For every 100 defense that Zibai has, Lunar Crystallize base damage increases by 0.7%, up to a maximum bonus of 14%. This reinforces the idea that she is a defense-stacking reaction driver. She also passively increases the party's moon sign level by 1 simply by being in the party. And her nighttime energy restoration effect only works outside of combat and does not impact actual gameplay. Next is Constellations, what each one actually changes. Her first constellation dramatically improves her gameplay smoothness. After using her elemental skill, she immediately gains 100 Phase Shift Radiance, and the maximum number of Spirit Steeds Stride uses during Lunar Phase Shift increases to 5. Additionally, the very first Spirit Steed Stride you perform after entering Lunar Phase Shift gets a massive 200% increased Lunar Crystallize reaction damage on its second hit. This constellation fixes her early clunkiness. Her second constellation is a straightforward power spike. While in Lunar Phase Shift, her defense increases by 50%. Her first passive talent is also upgraded so that Spirit Steed Stride gains additional damage based on 100% of her defense instead of the original value. This constellation gives her extremely high damage scaling. Her third constellation increases the level of her elemental skill by 3, which is her most important ability and directly boosts all of her key damage multipliers. Her fourth constellation enhances her Scatter Moon's Splendor effect, allowing her next fourth hit Lunar Crystallize reaction to gain an increased damage boost after Spirit Steed's Stride hits an enemy. Her fifth constellation increases the level of her elemental burst by 3. Her sixth constellation completely changes how her burst windows function. Spirit Steed's Stride now consumes all accumulated Phase Shift Radiance and gains stronger damage for every point consumed above 70, increasing both Spirit Steed's Stride damage and her Lunar Crystallize reaction damage for the next 3 seconds. This turns her into a burst window style carry capable of extremely high damage spikes. What Zibai actually is as a character. To put it plainly, Zibai is not a support, not a tank, and not a burst-centric character. She is designed to be an on-field geo damage dealer who scales entirely from defense. Her gameplay revolves around her normal attack string, especially her fourth hit, continuous geo application, and repeatedly triggering Lunar Crystallize reactions. Her best performance comes from stacking high defense, bringing at least one geo teammate for additional defense, and pairing with Hydro characters who enable her reaction triggers. If you want a comparison, she plays somewhat like a hybrid between Arlecchino and Cyno in terms of having a stance mode and repeated hit reactions, but all of her damage is based on defense and the new Lunar Crystallize mechanic. And that is the complete breakdown of Zibai's leaked kit, her stance mode, her defense-based scaling, her new reaction, and how all of her passives and constellations fit into her gameplay loop. Version 6.3 has just started, and in the next few days, we should receive final confirmed data for Columbina, Zibai, Illuga, and all of the remaining content coming with the update. If you want fast, accurate breakdowns without filler or confusion, make sure you are subscribed. I will cover everything the moment it becomes available. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.